Hey, this is Steve from the workshop, and today we're preparing for Snowmageddon, as my friend would say. It's kind of funny. Yeah, so we got about 12 to 18 inches of snow coming in, followed by sleet. And the cool thing about my Bluetti, my power plant here, is this thing, since it had a message from the weather service that severe weather was coming, it charged itself up to around 100%. It's down to like 96 now, but it'll keep itself fairly well topped off as we go along through the day. So that's pretty cool. So let me show you how this thing's set up. Now if you do have any comments or anything, be sure to write those down because I'm trying to figure this thing out myself. But anyways, the way we are set up here, we have 940 watts of solar coming in from the outside. You can see up here it says big zero. Yeah, it's not doing anything today because it's snowing outside. And we have two things plugged into it right now. This is my sump pump, which is right down below it, which is kind of nice because if the power goes out, well, I still got power. Incidentally, I used to have one of these DC pumps, and one time the power went out, and that thing lasted, I don't know, maybe an hour. Then it started beeping and stuff, and my wife had to get the bucket out and start bailing us out so we didn't flood. So yeah, this battery worked, but the capacity of this battery is like a quarter of this battery, and this one has solar, so it should, if the sun's out, it should keep things going. Now if it's cloudy or something like that, then no. But the point is the sump pump should run a whole lot longer off the Elite 400 than off of this battery down here. And also, if the sump pump goes bad, I left that DC pump in the hole, and I hooked it up to a DC adapter here so I can plug it in to the Bluetti up here. It has a place where I can plug it right in if I need to. So now I'm just going to leave the AC hooked up, and that's good enough as far as I'm concerned. But if the pump went bad, then I could use the DC that came with that other battery system. But I need to throw that battery out because that thing's old, not doing anything right now except sitting there, taking up space. So the plan is the Elite 400 is sitting there powering up the sump pump and my freezer. The orange cord is my freezer. Right now you see it's putting out 140 watts. That's for my freezer. My sump pump's not running. And that's kind of standard. It cycles on and off. And so if the power goes out, then those two things will keep running. Now I could also plug some other things into it. I put a electric plug here on the power coming into my propane furnace. Nope, just turned on. So I have a propane furnace as my aux heat. If the temperature is below 35, then it runs off that. If it warms up, then it has a heat pump. Now the Bluetti is not going to run the heat pump, but I can go upstairs and switch this to aux heat on the thermostat, then unplug this. This is the female end. This is the power coming in, and this is the male end. So this is like plugging in a vacuum cleaner or something, you know. I'm not going to unplug it because it just started. But I could bring an extension cord over to this and plug this into the Bluetti. It runs around 700 watts when it's running, the blower and stuff. I already had it hooked up just to test it out. It works pretty good. So in that case, if I lose power, then I can run my propane furnace, keep heating the house, and my freezer is good, and my sump pump's good. All right, so what else do I have? Well, my old system, this is poor sad AC 200. This is one of the first versions. I don't know if it's the first, but one of the first. It's a 1700 watt hour battery. Bought it a few years ago, and it works pretty good actually. Just doesn't have the battery capacity of the Elite 400. I mean, this thing is what, 38 something. That's right there. I can't read it. I don't have my glasses. 3840, I guess. So it has more than twice the capacity of the AC 200. But the AC200 is still good. I'm going to take that upstairs and plug it into my refrigerator upstairs so that keeps going. And that'll last quite a long time because I think the upstairs refrigerator, again, it's only pulling like 100 and some watts when it's running. But it cycles less because it's a refrigerator, it's not a freezer, so it doesn't have to keep things as cold. As long as you keep the door closed, it doesn't use that much juice. The last part of the puzzle, I guess, is what do I do if I run out of power? Well, I have a gas generator as well, and that I can feed into the house circuits. And so what I'm going to do is use that to charge up my batteries. And also it's big enough to run my well, so I can replenish my water supply. My wife filled up our hot tub upstairs in the bathroom with water, so we can use that for flushing or whatever. And so that's a good idea. But occasionally, probably once a day or so, I'll charge up the batteries and have enough power to take showers and things like that and do laundry. So we have some sustainability, but I don't have to sit there and run my generator 24/7 either, because these batteries will keep the essentials running for an extended period of time. I guess the last thing I wanted to talk about a little bit is the solar part. Now, obviously, if the weather's bad, the solar's doing nothing. You can see that up here, like 0. Yeah, but it's pretty early in the morning, 1, and 2, it's got snow over the solar panels right now, so yeah, they're not putting out anything. So if the weather's bad, then it's not useful. But if the weather is good and you got some sun, I mean, January, this thing was putting out like 500 watts the other day with 940 watts total capacity. So with January sunshine, that's pretty good, I think. I'm looking forward to seeing what this thing will do in the summer, because not only will we have more direct sunlight, but we'll have more light. We'll have more hours of sunlight. So I suspect probably during the summer hours, or as the light increases, this Bluetti will be able to use less and less grid power. And I'll play around with the state of charge, I think we call it the working load or whatever, and kind of tune down the amount of power that this thing pulls in off the grid. Incidentally, you can do that a couple different ways. You can adjust the state of charge. You can adjust the hours which it charges. So I only have it charging from midnight to 3, unless there's an emergency, like right now, it turned itself on, charged itself up. But anyways, normally, if there's no emergency, it'll charge itself up from 0 to 3 o'clock in the morning and off the grid. And I only have it set to charge itself up to 50%. So it leaves room for the solar to charge in the morning when the thing wakes up. During the summer, I might have to pull that back some more. And I think probably what's going to happen is the solar is going to charge the thing up to 100% in the day. And then by midnight, it's still above 50%, so the grid's not going to charge it up at all anyways. And then the next day, it'll charge itself up through the solar. So that's what I'm hoping will work. And I think feasibility, thinking about it, it should probably work out quite well. And then is it gonna save a ton of power? Well, no. It's just my freezer that's running on it, and sump pump turns on occasionally. But hey, it's something. And the main point of this is to have emergency backup. So I don't want to lose all my food in my freezer. A lot of meat in there and stuff, and that's quite a lot of money. You heard stories of that happening before. So I got a plan in place to take care of that. Anyways, I just want to share what's going on, and I'm trying to figure this thing out as I go. I just got it like a month ago, so not even that. But it's really handy. I think I'm really liking this thing. Anyways, if you have any comments or whatever, go ahead and post those. I'd be interested to hear what you think. And if I'm missing something, or you think I can improve things, which I'm sure I can. I'm just trying to figure this thing out as I go. Let me know. The solar array, 940 watts. I mean, this I think has a capacity to receive 1,000 watts. So like, right, I said in January, this thing's putting out like 500 watts. So I could have over paneled it more, and I do have some extra panels. But I think 940 watts is probably going to be enough to keep this thing going during the summer. And you can over panel it, I guess, and it'll put out too much wattage. It'll only accept 1,000. And the other thing is you just have to have the voltage right. The voltage has to be between 20 and 60, I think. Now, that's an interesting story too. So my solar panels, I had them wired 2 parallel, and then those 2 running into series. And they were 30 volt panels. So I figured, 30 and 30 is 60, right? And I series those together. Well, they actually put out a little bit more than 30. So it was like, it was receiving like 68, 69%, or 69 volts rather. And so it wouldn't accept the voltage because the voltage was wrong. And it didn't hurt the system at all. It just wouldn't accept it. So you got to hit the voltage between 20 and 60. So I just put them all in parallel because they're 30 volt panels. I just tied them all together, all the positives together, all the negatives together, and that seemed to work quite well. No problem with voltage anymore. So anyways, yeah, working pretty good. We'll talk to you later, and we'll see you. Bye.